The world is on the brink of nuclear war. Sirens are blaring, people are pouring into the streets in a panic, and the countdown has begun. At that very moment, you get an offer. Enter a bunker 90 meters underground, equipped with every imaginable luxury that will keep you safe for 10 years. But there's one condition. You must leave everyone else, 99% of humanity, outside to face an unavoidable fate. Would they accept? Would the price of your wealth be the loss of your humanity? This is the unsettling question at the heart of Netflix's El Refugio Atomic, or Billionaire's Bunker. And today, we're going deep into this luxury doomsday shelter to uncover the betrayals, lies, and the unbelievable plan that unfolds after the doors are sealed. Our story begins with a young man named Max. Despite being the child of a wealthy family, his life isn't exactly shining. He has just served 3 years in prison for an accident that caused the death of his childhood love, Anna. He entered prison as a rich millionaire, paid for survival, got beaten when the money ran out, and eventually turned himself into a fighter. Just as his release is approaching, strange news starts appearing on TV. Russian submarines, China's invasion of Taiwan. The world is rapidly spiraling toward a third world war. Max is unexpectedly released from prison by his father, Raphael. Raphael tells his son that a war that will destroy the world is about to break out and that they must go to a secret shelter called Chimera. Although Max is furious with his father, he agrees to go when he hears that the family of his former love, Anna, will also be there. They arrive by helicopter at a secret entrance in the middle of a lake. This is a massive 20,000 square meter underground luxury complex designed for 47 elite families to survive for 10 years. Inside, there are spas, digital windows, gourmet food, every luxury imaginable. As soon as they enter, their phones are taken and they are fitted with special bracelets that monitor their vitals. In the shelter, Max is reunited with his mother, Frida, his cancer-stricken grandmother, Victoria, and Anna's family. Anna's father, Guillermo, has seemingly forgiven Max and invites him to dinner. However, Anna's sister, Asia, is ice-cold toward Max. She wants revenge for her sister and for her mother, who died of grief shortly after. At dinner, these wealthy people begin to show their entitlement from the very first minute. Security and automation are top level in the shelter, so there is no waiter service. Meals are buffet style. This rule doesn't sit well with Max's grandmother, Victoria, who is used to being served her entire life and can't even stand the idea of a waiter not serving her. Just then, the shelter's manager, a charismatic and stern woman named Minerva, enters the room and explains the situation. The bombing between Russia and NATO has begun outside. You will be safe in this shelter, but this is not a hotel. And here, there are clear rules that everyone must follow. A short time later, while Guillermo is arguing with the bartender, Tirso, for more whiskey, the shelter begins to shake with a terrible noise. Lights explode and rocks fall from the walls. The artificial intelligence, Roxanne, announces that everyone must go to the dome immediately. Everyone runs in panic to a huge observation room called the Dome. Live feeds from the outside world are shown on massive screens. News anchors scream that nuclear war has officially begun and that cities around the world are being wiped off the map. And at that very moment, they watch live as a nuclear bomb hits a nearby military base. The shockwave is so massive that the feeds cut out and the shelter is plunged into darkness. At that moment, for the billionaires, the world has officially ended. Their only reality now is this luxurious tomb. But there's something we don't know. When Minerva returns to the control room, she raises a toast with her team. She hugs her brother, a genius engineer named Ciro. "We did it," she says. "The simulation was perfect." Everything they just watched, the shaking, the explosion, the news broadcasts, even the rock that fell from the shelter wall, was part of a massive deception planned for months by Minerva and her team. The world outside is safe. The real plan is to deceive these 47 wealthy families with the lie that the world has ended and hold them hostage here for 10 years. But why? Years ago, Minerva developed a project that made billions for the company she worked for, but she received a laughably small bonus as a reward. That day, she decided that the rich didn't deserve this system. The billionaires, meanwhile, will think to create digital copies of these billionaires, manage their companies and fortunes from the outside through these digital clones, and slowly transfer their money to fake companies they've set up. The billionaires, meanwhile, will think they are safe in the shelter, believing the apocalypse has happened outside, completely unaware that they are financing their own robbery. As the days pass in the shelter, the civilized masks of these wealthy people begin to fall away quickly. Max's father, Raphael, protests the food rationing, raids the kitchen, and is shot with a stun gun by a guard, Yako. Max uses the fighting techniques he learned in prison to disable Yako and steals the stun gun. This event causes Minerva to see Max as a dangerous element. To completely crush any hope of escape, Minerva initiates the second phase of the simulation. A two-person team is supposedly sent outside to repair the antennas. Of course, this team consists of Minerva's own people, Luca and Cindy. In the dome, the billionaires watch on the team's camera as they move through the supposedly radiation-filled, ash-covered world outside. In a planned accident, Luca's glove is burned and he is exposed to radiation. When Luca is brought back to the shelter, his body is covered in fake burns. Minerva summons one of the most sensitive people inside, Guillermo's new wife, Mimi, to give blood to Luca. Mimi is horrified when she sees Luca writhing in agony and his burned body. This terrifying image ensures the rumor that it's deadly outside spreads throughout the shelter. Meanwhile, Julia, Minerva's lover and the shelter's doctor, who is a key part of the plan, begins to suffer from guilt. She says what they are doing is torture, that she can no longer be a part of it, and that she wants to leave. Although she promises not to talk about the plan outside, Minerva and Ciro don't believe her. They fear she might change her mind after leaving and tell the police everything. During the argument, Minerva's brother, Ciro, pushes Julia off a bridge, killing her. Thanks to the AI Roxanne, this is recorded not as a murder, but as a suicide. Simultaneously, another part of the plan is in motion in the real world outside. Guillermo's right-hand man, Oswaldo, cannot reach his boss. Minerva's team uses Roxanne to create a fake digital copy, a deepfake, of Guillermo and starts a video call with Oswaldo. But a problem arises. Oswaldo mentions a deal they've been chasing for years and a code, BJ3. The AI Roxanne doesn't know what BJ3 is, and the system freezes. Minerva and Ciro panic. After a long search, Roxanne discovers that BJ3 is the name of Guillermo's deceased daughter Anna's champion horse, valued at 40 million euros. The next day, the fake Guillermo calls Oswaldo again and tells him to retrieve documents from the safe at his house for the sale of the horse. They need the safe's combination. Minerva tasks team member Ingrid with this job. Ingrid gets close to Guillermo, gets him drunk, and, with a flirtatious game, learns the combination from him, Anna's birth date. Meanwhile, tension in the shelter is escalating. Mimi realizes Guillermo doesn't love her and falls into depression. It's revealed that Max's mother, Frida, has been having a secret affair for years with Guillermo. Now that they are both, supposedly, free from their spouses, they begin their relationship in the shelter. Mimi's condition worsens. Her liver fails. Her only salvation is a dialysis machine, but there isn't one in the shelter. Asia, despite Mimi being her father's new wife, is determined to save her. Max, though he holds himself responsible for Anna's death and hates Guillermo for threatening to have him killed in prison unless he took the fall, decides to help for Anna's sake. While the dome and the spa show luxury, Max notices there are no emergency exit signs anywhere. He figures a place this expensive must have an emergency exit and begins searching for camera blind spots. Eventually, in a spot poorly covered by the cameras, he finds a hidden, faint marking, the sign that will lead him to the emergency exit stairs. After this discovery, Max goes to Minerva and offers to go to a hospital outside to get a dialysis machine for Mimi, but Minerva harshly rejects him, saying it's deadly outside. Upon this refusal, Max and Asia devise a secret escape plan. The pair pretends to be lovers to evade the cameras all over the shelter and the microphones in their bracelets. They meet in their rooms with loud music playing, making kissing sounds while whispering the details of the plan. Their plan? Disable Roxanne, set off a bomb as a distraction, and have Max use the emergency exit stairs to get to the surface. Meanwhile, in the outside world, Oswaldo, at Guillermo's request, goes to an office in Bangkok for a fake company to make a €900 million transfer. Minerva's team greets him with a fake office and dozens of actors. Back in the shelter, Max and Asia take action. They cut a hole in the wall leading to Roxanne's system room and sever the main cables. At that exact moment in Bangkok, the fake Guillermo's image freezes, and Roxanne appears on the screen. Oswaldo starts to get suspicious. Minerva's team panics, reboots the system, and tells Oswaldo it was just a connection error. As Max and Asia prepare a fake bomb, Minerva's man, Yako, becomes suspicious of them. While Max fights Yako, Asia secretly steals the materials they need. Outside, Oswaldo is about to sign the transfer. In the shelter, Max and Asia initiate the final phase of the plan. A device made with chemicals secretly gathered by Asia causes a short circuit in the main electrical panel, triggering an explosion and cutting power to the entire shelter. In the moment of panic, the pair sets off fire extinguishers they had previously stolen, filling the corridors with smoke. The shelter is thrown into chaos. As everyone panics in the smoke, Max climbs the emergency staircase. At the same time in Bangkok, Oswaldo realizes he's been scammed. He returns to find the fake office completely emptied. The moment he reaches for his phone to call the police, he is caught and killed by Minerva's people, Luca and Ingrid. In the shelter, Asia runs to Mimi's room, but it's too late. Mimi has died from an overdose of morphine patches given to her by Max's grandmother, Victoria. Asia reaches Max on his earpiece. Mimi is dead. You have no reason to escape anymore. Max hesitates for a moment. He is at the door of the elevator that leads to the surface. Turning back means returning to the miserable life in this luxurious lie. No, he says. I have a reason now, myself. The moment he presses the elevator button, Yako, who was chasing him, appears at the end of the corridor and starts shooting. Bullets hit the glass elevator as Max ascends rapidly toward the surface, toward the real world. And the season ends at that very moment as Max pries open the shelter's hatch and is confronted by the sunlight of the real world, which he sees has not been destroyed. And so, we end the season with Max's first step into the real world. What awaits him outside is a complete mystery. A world that wasn't destroyed, but also a world filled with murders committed by Minerva's people. What do you think Max will do? Will Minerva's massive lie be exposed? What will be the fate of Asia and those left inside? If a second season of the series comes, you'll find all the answers right here. Thanks for watching the entire story of Billionaire's Bunker with us. If you were in the shelter, do you think you would have realized the lie? Don't forget to share your own theories in the comments. See you in the next What Happened in the End video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Goodbye.